I'll never forget the date. I was supposed to die, be executed at October 7th, 1963, at 8 o'clock.
At 17 years old, Calvin was sentenced to death for accessory before and after the fact of first-degree murder. In a time when blacks were twice as likely to be unemployed, and when they were employed, earned half of what white Americans did, Calvin and his friends were making and selling moonshine. When someone stole all of their goods, they decided to rob a convenience store. What Calvin didn't know is that his oldest friend had a gun.
And really the next thing I heard was some shooting, you know. So I ran and ran. Then when I ran up front and got closer to the door, I saw what was going on. One of the guys had been shot and the store owner had been shot, and I ran out the door.
Later, when the police came to the door, he realized the store owner had died. Although it wasn't Calvin who had the gun, he was sentenced to death. Calvin spent 12 years on death row, one time becoming within 14 hours of execution.
At the bottom of the building, they had these little peepholes down at the bottom, right to the ground, I don't know. And then when they would execute a guy, they would bring him out there on the stretcher and lay him down on the grass. And you could, you know, kind of see, wow.
So you could see what was going to happen to you?
Yes, ma'am. And
in 1972, he was released on parole with no support, no skills, and unable to find work. It didn't take much time for him to violate his parole and return to prison to finish his sentence. Calvin was released at the age of 74 after serving 46 years of his life in prison. The difference this time? He had a place to go that would help him reintegrate into a world that had moved on without him.
This is a place where I think everybody should come to, really. I'm not just saying it's a good place, and it has helped me so much. What it has done for me is the tools that I already had, it hasn't done nothing but strengthen those tools. It just done overwhelm me with what I want to do and the things I want to do.
So you're ing back to Jacksonville. Tell us what you want to do for the rest of your life.
I'm going right there basically to be with my family. I have 2 grandkids now. Wow, my babies.
Oh. Hey there, I'm Erin Minor, the Executive Director of Harvest House. Today, I'm personally going to take you on an impromptu tour. We're going to see what stories we can find. We, as a staff and an organization, have found our stories in the lives of those you'll meet. Who knows, maybe today you'll find your story too. All right, we are here on one of our 3 Freedom Recovery campuses. With 115 beds, the Freedom Program provides residential recovery for adult men and women who have a history of incarceration and addiction. The Freedom Program is actually how we got started serving our community back in 1992. The national need for communities to engage solutions around the opioid crisis has never been higher, and we here at the Freedom Program are at ground zero. Earlier, you met Calvin up at our Freedom Campus in Manatee County. That is our very first campus in Manatee, and we look forward to expanding our services by building on that beautiful 8 acres up there. We're going to get in the car to continue our tour. All right, we are leaving the Men's Freedom Program in Sarasota and heading up Mango, heading north to 2 of our properties we'll see that we purchased about 6 or 7 years ago, and part of our mission is to revitalize neighborhoods. So these properties were in absolute despair. They were a magnet for criminal activity, drug trafficking, prostitution, and we completely remodeled them and turned them into supportive housing for homeless families. Circumstances led Victoria and her 6 children to laying their heads down in their minivan instead of their own beds. When Victoria reached out to her kids' school, they pointed her to the only place they knew that could take a family of 7 that very night.
And we got our own room. We stayed there for, I don't know, a couple of weeks, and they made friends, and we played at the playground. it's almost like we have a miracle. All the kids have a place to do homework, a place to play. I can do my laundry and I can cook. I wouldn't know what to do if we didn't find you. I don't know how I would honestly survive.
We're going to head up Martin Luther King to the Lee Wetherington Family Village, where in partnership with Lee Wetherington and the Community Foundation of Sarasota County, we purchased an entire block of duplexes and turned it into permanent supportive housing for families who are homeless. And our newest program called New Heights, which is for unaccompanied youth who are homeless ages 18 to 24. It's an absolutely gorgeous property right on the corner of Tuttle and Martin Luther King. We have a gorgeous playground in the backyard where Sally Yanowitz donated to build it, where kids can celebrate their birthday parties, and we have a grow box project in the backyard also. So each family has their own grow box, and they grow all sorts of fruits and vegetables, and then they have a great celebration at the end of the season, and we call it a harvest picnic. Alexis didn't have a choice to stay at home. Her home had become too dangerous, and she had to make a tough choice. Do I try to make it on my own, or put my safety at risk?
I talked to my mentor at school, and she told me about the program, and I waited until I was 18 and I signed up and I got accepted. And I came here to try to bring up my GPA so I can work on my schoolwork. Yesterday they just told me that I brought it up to a 2.0, so I'll be graduating for sure.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So cool. Alexis is now working 2 jobs. She graduates high school in May and will be applying to college to study either surgical tech or culinary arts. Keon grew up in a very unstable environment, so when a bad breakup left her and her daughter homeless and living in their car, she was beside herself. That's when she contacted Harvest House.
I just need help because bouncing around, pillow to post, and sometimes in my car I wasn't cutting it with the child. If I'm by myself, whatever, I can kick it. But with the 2-year-old time, 2.5-year-old, it wasn't okay for me. It didn't sit well. Instead of giving you that hand out, they're giving you a hand up. I literally can't say, enough about the Harvest program.
So we're here at one of our affordable rentals. We have actually 30 affordable rentals, 25 in Sarasota and 5 in Manatee County, and we're here at one in Manatee County. What's really cool about Harvest House is you can go from the emergency shelter to a transitional apartment or even permanent supportive housing and then end up in your own rental. So you can do that all under Harvest House. So we're gonna meet Maria here and go into her home and talk a little bit about her story and how her experience at Harvest House has affected her and her 3 grandkids. Come on in.
Hey, how you doing?
Good to see you. Can we come in?
Come in.
Thank you. Maria was renting a room while working and going to school to become a nurse when her 3 grandchildren ended up in care of the state. With rents ranging from $1,200 to $1,600 and requiring first, last, and security, all hope was lost. Her grandchildren would be placed in foster homes until she found Harvest House.
They help me. They give you hope, like the classes, the staff, just the financial classes, the couponing classes, because now I coupon a lot.
Nice.
Just everything, it works together to help you. I'm able to save some money, not as much as I would like, but,
Right.
With kids, but,
Yeah.
you're able to save for a rainy day, and it's a great program just all the way around, and the people are so nice, and whatever you need, they're there to help.
After 2 years in home again, Maria moved into one of Harvest House's affordable rentals with her 3 grandchildren. With a stable living situation and new skills, she's excited about continuing her education and marvels at how far she has come.
I don't know if my grandkids will still be in foster care. But and I probably would be dead because those was the hardest 10 days of my life.
Yeah. So what did it feel like getting those keys to that apartment? What was the weight lifted off? What was that like?
unexplainable. Because I knew that I can get my grandkids back.